this is Kim Spiedick from 10 Sigma. Welcome to episode 97 of Transition Tuesday. Today I'll be talking about essential emotional behavioral skills for transition age students. Right now I'm going to switch over to a short slide presentation to share this information.
In today's video, I will discuss emotional behavioral problems and disorders, statistics about students with emotional disorders as they relate to adulthood, and 4 essential emotional skills students need to focus on during their transition years in order to successfully reach their post-secondary goals. The definition of an emotional behavioral disorder is an established pattern of external or internal behaviors of one or more: withdrawal or anxiety, depression, problems with mood, or feelings of self-worth defined by behaviors, disordered thought processes with unusual behavior patterns and atypical communication styles, and aggression, hyperactivity, or impulsivity that is developmentally inappropriate. Some characteristics of a person who may have an emotional behavioral disorder is their inability to learn, which cannot be explained by intellectual, sensory, or health factors. Their inability to develop or maintain interpersonal relationships. They display inappropriate types of behaviors or feelings. They may display a pervasive mood of unhappiness or depression, and/or they may show physical symptoms of fears associated with personal or school problems. Here's a graph that shows some examples of external versus internal emotional behavior. Some externalizing emotional behaviors could include violating basic rights of others, violating social norms or rules, having tantrums, stealing, is hostile or defiant and argues, ignores teachers' reprimands, demonstrates obsessive-compulsive behaviors, causes or threats physical harm to people or animals, uses lewd or obscene gestures, and is hyperactive. Some internalizing emotional behaviors could be exhibiting painful shyness, is teased by peers, is neglected by peers, is depressed, is anorexic, bulimic, socially withdrawn, tending to be suicidal, having unfounded fears and phobias, having a low self-esteem, and excessive worries or panics. Now I'm going to talk about some staggering statistics for students who have emotional behavior disorders. They have the worst graduation rate of all students with disabilities. Nationally, only 40% of students with EBD graduate from high school, compared to the national average of 76%. They are 3 times as likely as other students to be arrested before leaving school, and are twice as likely as other students with other disabilities, for example, developmental or learning disabilities, to be living in a correctional facility, halfway house, drug treatment center, or on the street after leaving school. In addition, only 10 to 25% of students with emotional behavioral disorders enroll in post-secondary education, compared to 53% of the typical population. They are twice as likely as students with other disabilities to become teenage parents. Up to 85% of children in juvenile detention facilities have disabilities that make them eligible for special education services. Yet only 37% had been receiving any kind of services in their school. And youth with emotional disturbances are 13 times more likely to have been arrested while still in school compared to students with other disabilities. The first of the 4 essential emotional skills to focus on with students is empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Empathy has the capacity to transform individual lives for the better while helping to bring about positive social change in schools and communities worldwide. In psychology, there are 2 common approaches to empathy: shared emotional responses and perspective taking. Shared emotional responses, or affective empathy, occurs when an individual shares another person's emotions. Perspective taking, also known as cognitive empathy, occurs when a person is able to imagine herself or himself in a situation of another. The importance of this skill related to employment, education and training, and independent living is that empathy creates connections between people, which is very important in the workplace. Empathy helps develop strong self-regulation skills while providing insight into what others may be feeling or thinking, which is important again in relationships and employment. Empathy means that we create a better world as we care about each other. Empathy is contagious. It's a cycle. As one of your bonuses today, I will be sending you empathy activities. You can also watch Transition Tuesday, episode 91, for more resources and information on teaching empathy to your students. The second essential emotional skill to teach is ethics. Ethics are moral principles that determine the standards for human behavior. Even though many ethical standards are similar across societies, there are situations in which ethical views differ. Ethics is not the teaching of a specific set of beliefs. Rather, ethics is about learning to analyze and evaluate beliefs. As long as you communicate that clearly with your students and practice it in your classroom, there is no need to worry about whose ethics you're teaching. Using ethical dilemmas as a basis for classroom instruction promotes critical thinking, participation, and self-advocacy. Ethics are important not only in the workplace, but in school and family, because it is an essential part of the foundation on which civilized society is built. In family, ethics are formed while children observe their parents, role models, ethical behaviors. In school, students learn what is right and what is wrong. In business, there are ethical codes about a person's occupation. The third essential emotional skill to teach is controlling emotions. Controlling emotions are attempts by an individual to manage the generation, experience, or expression of emotion and/or one's emotional responses. Emotional control can refer to the ability to exercise influence over emotion and modulate emotion through the use of cognitive or behavioral strategies. The importance in education and training, independent living, and employment are the ways in which individuals are able to achieve emotional control have implications for health and well-being. If a person has a healthy sense of self-awareness, they understand their own strengths and weaknesses, as well as how their actions affect others. A person with emotional control can maturely reveal emotions and exercise restraint and self-regulate when needed. People who are in control of emotions are able to build rapport and trust quickly with others. They avoid power struggles and backstabbing. For this skill, I'll also be giving you activities in your bonus today. You can also refer back to episode 90 for more activities on teaching the skill of being in control of emotions. And the fourth emotional skill to teach students is making good choices. Good choices are recognizing the choice to be made, including different possibilities or outcomes, and taking actions. Good decisions should keep students heading in the direction they want to go. Bad choices, on the other hand, end up being counterproductive and can result in stressful situations. The importance of teaching this skill to students who will be entering adulthood is that it is a key skill in the workplace and is particularly important to be an effective leader. It is not only at work that decision-making plays a major role. Every choice made can change one's personal life in a different direction. Understanding the dynamics of choices can help improve the decisions that students make. For more information and activities on teaching students to make good choices, please refer to Transition Tuesday, episode 83. For today's bonus, I'll be sending you links to tips and activities on teaching students the 4 essential emotional skills of empathy, controlling emotions, ethics, and making good decisions.
Thank you for watching the video. I hope you use this information to help your students. Be sure to check your email for the bonus we just sent over. If this is the first time you've ever seen an episode of Transition Tuesday, click the link below to receive the bonus. Be sure to like and share the video and leave a comment or suggestion for a future episode of Transition Tuesday. Have a great week. See you next Tuesday.